Okay, hi everybody. My name is Reichardt. I'm the CEO and co-owner of Kii Audio. We're a company from Germany. In fact, we're a company from Europe because we have a couple of guys from Germany, a couple of guys from Holland, and our head of development, Bruno Putzais, is Belgian, so we're a European company. Yeah, we're a pretty young company. In fact, Kii Audio is only not even 2 years old, but very successful in the meanwhile. And yeah, the story is that we all knew each other before in different companies, and so the formation was kind of natural. We thought we need to make this speaker because we had this idea of the ideal speaker, and we got together and founded the company just like that, and then we started, and Bruno had the design already up his sleeve, so it was a piece of cake, more or less. Yeah, right now we're making one speaker product, which is it's called the Kii 3, and of course when there's a Kii 3 there will be Kii 4 and Kii 2 and Kii 1 somewhen. We're started with this relatively small stand mount speaker, and of course there will be floor standers and other things like that. Right now we're working on the controller for that, so like a preamp. So because it's a very integrated system, the amplification is inside, the DACs are inside, the A to D converters are inside. So basically you need only a playback source of some sort, a streamer or a CD player or a turntable connected to the system, and you're finished. So the components that you're used to have are in vain, more or less, because it's all inside the Kii 3 itself. Right. I'm going to explain what exactly we're doing. This is very, very new. The concept is very new that we do. The speaker has six chassis, so there's 4 woofers, a mid-range, and a tweeter, of course. Each of those have their independent amplification. So if there's 6 times 250 watt Encore amplification inside one Kii 3, there's 6 DACs. So every amplification has its own DAC in front, and in front of the DACs is the DSP. And the DSP does a lot of things that solve some fundamental problems of loudspeaker technology. I'm going to talk about that a little. What loudspeaker manufacturers have been struggling with is mainly the linearity of the frequency response, the phase coherence, the time domain. As a little extra, we've also introduced a cardioid base, which is also very new. So what we've done is we're using the DSP for multiple things. First of all, we equalize the whole frequency response. So what you're getting is a speaker that is extremely linear between 20 Hertz and 25 kilohertz, plus minus 0.5 dB, which is, honestly speaking, not feasible in a passive system, for instance. The next more complicated thing is to get the phase problems out of the way. Everyone that listens to high-end speaker knows the problem with phase. So there's only one position in the room where you can really enjoy the speaker. If you stand up, if you move away, the image collapses and it's not good anymore. So what we did is we're working on the phase response of the system, and the sound, so the sound signature, the sound quality is same all over the room. Then the time domain problem. The time domain problem is the biggest problem in speaker manufacturing, especially in passive speakers where you have no control what the speaker is doing. So we took care of that. We are having all frequencies dispersed at the same time, in the same millisecond. That's not possible in passive speakers as well. It doesn't work. So there's all sorts of tries to get that done in passive speakers. That doesn't work. So you need a DSP to do that. So the audio stream comes in, the DSP lets it all out to the DACs and to the amps at the same time. So the ear is extremely responsive for time problems. So we've taken care of that. So that's frequency, phase, and time domain. Fundamental problems of loudspeaker technologies have been solved with this little speaker. And the speaker is really small. It's just 40 by 20. So it's a small item. The cardioid bass. So what you want to have in a living room is you don't want to have the speaker stand in the middle of the room. You had to get away from the walls. Is there a side wall or a back wall in proximity? There's a problem. Yeah, there's bass build up and you hear all these funny bass things happening which are not on the recording, which you don't want to hear because the room adds them. Is we have found a way to direct all the sound to the front. With tweeter, that's not a problem. With mid-range, also not, but with bass. Very energetic sound from the bass is being dispersed in a circular manner. So the same power goes to the back wall than to the listener. So there's a lot of power going back, making bad things with the room. And if we succeed to disperse it only to the front, your whole situation with standing the speakers gets different. So what we can do with the Kii 3 is we can go in the corner of a room about 8 centimeters from the wall and there will be no bass buildup because the bass is all going to the front. No one can do it, and I mean in passive speaker design that doesn't really work. That's very, very complicated and very expensive. In DSP you can do these things if you know what you're doing. So that's the 4 things that we've more or less solved. Yes, of course. I mean, the system, of course, works on a digital domain, meaning all the DSP processing is done in digital domain. So if you come directly from a digital source, may it be a CD player, may it be a streamer or a PC or a Mac directly with a USB interface, you can do all these things. Of course, you are better off than coming from an analog source, digitizing that, and then going analog again on the output. Still, we have customers that do that because they have a turntable, they want to have that. But the best result, of course, because of channel separation and things like that, is of course when you come from a USB or an AES or an SPDIF output and go straight into the cabinet. Sounds fantastic, has best dynamics ever. We're, as I said before, we are bringing out a controller, which is a USB interface, has additional digital inputs, volume control, software settings as a tabletop unit. It's coming out in the fourth quarter of this year. It complements the Kii 3, and with that device, you can stream DSD from your server or from your PC streamer, whatever. We can work with that. Yes, of course. Yeah. So all the different formats, high res, PCM, up to 384, everything. Yeah. It will be very small, very sleek, but extremely high tech. It's going to be one of the probably best USB interfaces in the market. So yeah, watch the web space to see how it looks. It's going to come out in fourth quarter. Yeah, well, that's a little bit the trick of the whole game that Bruno designed. So as I said, the drivers are there are 4 drivers with 4 amps and 4 DACs, woofers, and they're relatively small. But the way we work with them on the DSP side is we work with them like they were a big one. So they're adding up together. It's not like 4 small ones. It's more like 2 bigger ones. So that's a little bit the secrets that I can't talk too much about how we do that, and Bruno knows. And it's a little bit the secret of the system, how we work with this relatively small woofers to get a 20 Hertz signal out of that, which usually these woofers can't do. So the question is right, and I can only answer it half because I'm yeah, kind of it's kind of a patented secret. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thanks.